What's up, guys? It's Rahul from the Chaos Gym. I know I haven't made too much content recently. I've been super busy. I am. It's been a little difficult with my new internship. I've been juggling that, staying at home, and all the travel that I've been doing, big tournaments. But I should be picking up with some cool content coming up. Hopefully, I'll be doing some deck lists, deck profiles, etc. moving forwards. But today we're just going to talk about Madison. So what's the sitch? Last weekend, Seattle, there was 24 out of the 32 decks in top. Day two were Garb decks, and 6 of the 8 in day two were, you know, Garb decks. So it was a very Garb dominated meta. Do I think that trend will continue? No. Those numbers will never ever be hit by a tournament. I don't think ever. But that being said, there will be a good amount of players who conform to Garb variants. So let's talk about the Garb variants. You've probably watched a bunch of other discussion videos, heard a bunch about them, so you probably know what they are. Drampa Garb, best one, sounds like it. Either the easiest ways to combat it are either to play a fighting type deck, something that deals with Drampa, or like Laurentis is an example. Volcanion with the 4 Brooklet Hills is an example. Lycanroc decks you can pilot, the Speed Dark deck that play the 15 Darks, like just things like that. But you pretty much like have to change the way you build your deck coming up for this regionals. So that being said, that and Espeon Garb are the two biggest variants to expect for this weekend. Still, Decidueye Plume was the second most played deck last weekend. I don't think it's going to be the second most deck plays this weekend. I think it's going to drop purely because its Drampa Garb matchup is actually abysmal. Same with Espeon Garb. I played it at a League Cup this past weekend against it at a past weekend, as well as a couple of my teammates, Pandaris and Brian Civilhouse, and they both, all of us, we just lost. We just lost like almost every single game. I think I'm the only one who won a game against it. So it's pretty bad. Other than that, we have Laurentis decks, Laurentis Bulu, which is popping up. I don't know if the Bulu is great. I think just straight Laurentis with Sunny Day and the Choice Bands is really good because you just hit like perfect numbers on Drampa. You two-shot them with Flower Supply. They can't really get rid of your energies ever. They can't one-shot you with Berserk. You don't have to actually play too many items because you can play like Shinotic if you're going to build your deck that way. And all you need is like one Ultra Ball in your setup and a Forest. So, Laurentis very high deck to consider this weekend. Another deck to consider is like Vikavolt Bulu. I haven't tested much with Vikavolt, but I know Russell sings praises of it. Um, yeah. Let's talk about the other deck that finished in the top 8. Israel Sosa's Waterbox Patch City. I like the list a lot. It's very consistent, very straightforward. It's just gonna I'm gonna smack you in the face type of deck. That kind of a deck is very good. And I think it's a good play going into this weekend as well. Like, don't get me wrong. The other top 8 deck, Vespiquen, looks very alluring to a lot of players, but a lot of playable can't. Like I said this in the squeaky marking video I did, Team Fish Knuckles, that it's not an easy deck to pilot. You have to be able to have hammered out hundreds of thousands of repetitions with bees and know exactly what you're doing. You have to be able to count every single odd and play around almost every single card in existence, really. Because not playing around one thing could lose you a game and subsequently lose you the set. That being said, I'm more than likely playing bees because it's my comfort deck of choice. When I didn't know what the meta was going into Anaheim, it was my blind pick. When I didn't know what the meta was going into Puerto Rico, it was my blind pick. And I'm a little shaky still on the meta going into this weekend, so it's my blind pick again. And that's because it's my fallback deck. If you have a fallback deck of choice, this would be the weekend to bust it out. Just play safe. Moving forward, off those decks, I don't think bees will be very popular. I would not tech forward personally. Even if I switch to something else, which there's a very real chance I will, because Ryan convinces me otherwise a lot of the time. Like, I know he's been testing the Brooklet Hill Volcanion a lot, and he really likes the deck. And I have played a couple games, and I also really enjoy the deck, so that might be an option for me. So let's just jump into that, I guess. Brooklet Hill Volcanion. It beats Drampa Garb, and it beats the Laurentis decks, and should beat Vespiquen, just because of the Volcanions. Type advantage, So it's just one of the better decks out there right now. I think Volcanian's a good play going into this weekend. But with the four Brooklyn Hills, because the format has slowed down to an extent where everyone's building their decks to deal with the items. So it's a slower deck that also has aggression behind it because you're just steaming up or power artillery or whatever. Power heater? Power heater. Um, and then there's the dark red deck. We'll talk about that. I like that as a lot. The list was really cool. The 15 darks from Europe, Philip Schultz's list. Um, it was like super, super cute. And I feel like it's a good play. But you still have to be very careful about how you play your tools against Drampa Garb. Because Drampa Garb can still offer a ton of pressure, and 180 HP still isn't enough right now. Which is why I think Zygarde is ridiculous this weekend. Like, if you're either playing Zygarde or like Raichu Lycanroc, I think you'll have a good time. Straight up. Because you're playing fighting types, and if we expect the meta to be again around 66% Drampa Garbodor, you hit a couple of them, you hit 5 out of your 9 rounds, you just have to win one more game and you're in day 2. It's not that hard to do. 2 more games. It's not that hard to do. Raichu is innately strong, Lycanroc is innately strong, Zygarde is very tanky and beefy, and yeah. Let's talk about Mega Ray. This, I don't know how that deck could ever pop up again because every single almost every deck last weekend countered had Sudowoodo. It's just the most easily inclusible deck tech. It's the same as how Parallel City just shuts it down. It's just Sudowoodo making the bench to 4 is insane. And Sudowoodo is good against almost a lot of other decks, including Drampa Mirror. So it's like, why not? So I don't expect Rayquaza. If there is, then it's not gonna have a good time. I don't think. Mega Gardevoir. I hope people play it. It's a very good deck. It's one of my options still on my table. Um, I posted a list in my 60 cards article. It was pretty much like a card off of what Brad won his 2 cups with. So if you want to get it for free, you can just go to Brad's Facebook. It matches up well against Trampa Guard because you can just go for the light Ultra Ball. Like you just play one Ultra Ball and your 1 or 2 links and you're set up. You can just go for the Mallow play and you can set up behind the Mallow. You can continuously Shaman. There's no more males, so you're not as consistent, which is a little bit of a problem. But still, so that's that deck. What else looking at Ninetales? Although the Ninetales probably a incredibly solid play for this weekend. I tested it a bunch. You should beat Drampagarb a lot of the time, 100, close to 100% of the time. Especially with the Coco promo, there's like spread, and then like Drampa becomes into the shot of the 160 from the Ninetales, so you don't even need choice band on your end. And getting those 3 energies is pretty easy with Aqua Patch and stuff. And also, like, you get to negate one of their hits entirely with Ice Path GX, which is super neat. But I don't know how it faces up against the rest of the formats. This is why I am hesitant to continue it in my testing. But it matches up well against Garbodor Drampa, which is a huge deck to be matched up well against. Mega Scizor, no. Metagross, no. Um, yeah, it covers the majority of the good decks that I think are expected to see play this weekend. There's obviously gonna Greninja. Greninja's like never not there, but like I think Greninja has like a very real chance to like have 1 or 2 slots into the day 2 and like maybe a slide into the top 8 if it makes it through because it has a very very favorable Drampa Garbodor matchup and like I like I'd be shocked if like somebody doesn't pick up Greninja and go, this is a very good play for this weekend. Like I can double snipe kill a Garbodor, double snipe Moonlit Slash kill a Drampa. Choice band's insane in that matchup because you just Drampa dies very quickly. Their Lele's die very quickly. Everything they love dies very quickly. Um, yeah, like those are all the big decks. I wouldn't play Greninja personally. I think my top 3 right now are Bees, Alolan Ninetales, and Mega Gardevoir. Fourth being Decidueye. I don't want to play Drampa Guard purely because I don't think I'm skilled enough to play the Drampa Guard Mirror for a majority of the rounds, especially leading into the day 2, where I suspect a lot of the good players will continue playing Drampa Garbodor, and they are well versed in the mirror that I am, purely because my testing with the deck is minimal. I have put a lot more time into other decks than Drampa Garb, and I did not expect this. What happened? I did not expect what happened last weekend. I was pretty shocked. That being said, final plugs. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. I will try to put out more stuff next week. I am going to Mexico, so it's going to be a little tough for me as well. I have a very busy traveling schedule the next couple of weeks. Madison, Mexico, Origins, League Cups, Nationals, and then we have a month of dead time before Worlds, where I'll be hammering out games, and I'll be sure to post them because I'll be testing really hard for Worlds. Check out ccgcastle.com because I'm part of Team CCG Castle. And use promo code CCGTeam5 for 5% off your next order. You can go to tcevolutions.com to use their dice stuff. They're like aluminum dice. They're super sick. Other than that, and like Ultimate Guard, obviously, got their deck box right here because I like to shuffle cards while I'm just chilling. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Good luck this weekend. If you say hi, see me in Madison, don't be afraid to come say hi. I love it. I love you guys and come up and tell me I'm doing a great job or like that I'm helpful because I don't know. You guys are the reason I keep doing this. You guys are the force that drives me. So thank you so much, and I will catch you guys in Madison.